Hey, I'm Chase.
And I'm Jesse.
And today we're going to be talking about getting set up on the Sorcery Play Network. So, what is the Sorcery Play Network? Well, the Sorcery Play Network serves as the hub for all things sorcery. Users can create, customize, and run events, track ticket sales, access the store locator, and earn dust. But you might be wondering, how do I get started on the Sorcery Play Network? Well, the first thing you're going to do is go to play.sorcerytcg.com, and from there you're going to log in, submit an organizer application, and then you're going to be ready to go. So Jesse, let's walk through how do we actually get set up?
Yeah, thanks, Chase. So what we're going to do is navigate across here to play.sorcerytcg.com. And if you haven't logged in, this is what the landing page is going to look like for you. Then we're going to click in the top right-hand corner on this blue login button. It's going to bring up this authentication screen. So if you've already got an account on Curiosa.io, the official sorcery deck builder, or at SorceryTCG.com, then you're going to be able to log in with your credentials here. Otherwise, you can create a brand new account. So now that you've logged in, this is the screen that you're going to see here with your name in the top right-hand corner and a little profile picture. If you click on the profile picture, you're going to bring up a range of different options. So the first thing that you're going to want to do if you're a store that's looking to run events on the Play Network is you're going to want to click on Organizer Application. And this is going to give you the opportunity to register as an event organizer so that you can create events through the Play Network and get awesome rewards to your players. So here we're going to select I'm an owner. We're going to click Create a New Store rather than modify an existing store. Our store sells products in person over the counter, and we're going to say that we plan on organizing events. Then we're going to navigate to Next. Then it's going to bring up this form that's going to let us put in our name and contact details, as well as some information about our store, where we're located and what our business legal name is and our contact details. Then we just need to certify here at the bottom that we can safely and comfortably seat 8 players to come and play in our events and that we meet all local regulations. We're going to be able to click submit and send that form in. And Chase, within about 1 to 2 business days, about 48 hours generally, this application will be considered and approved, and then we'll be ready to launch our first event on the Play Network.
That's amazing. All right, that's it. Okay. Well, let's get right into then. So if we want to run an event, there's a few things you're going to have to do. Now, first off, you have to create an event. You're going to fill in your event details. And then once you're done with that, it's just as easy as it was submitting the organizer application. You can make your event link and share it with people and start to populate it. So Jesse, let's go through and set up an event, maybe for aspiring store owners who want to start having people play sorcery in their store.
Absolutely. And it's super easy to set up an event. So we'll navigate across to the Events tab here. And then we'll click on this Create Event button. So you can see just below here, there's a range of events that are already live on the Play Network. And we're just going to add to that list here by clicking Create Event. So we're going to create the Common Sense Convention with Eric's Curiosa here. We're going to click Create. So then we're going to get to this Create Event page here. And this is where you can put in all of the details about your event. So we've got the name here, the Common Sense Convention, organized by Eric's Curiosa. We've got the location where we are, and then we can put in some additional location notes, like if you need to access the event with a lift or some stairs, you can let your players know how they can get to the event here. There's a range of logistical details, time and date, and then we select an image that we want to represent our event. So we've chosen Edge of the World here for this New Zealand event.
Good choice.
So the next screen is all about the activity selection. So this is what kind of tournament or event are you running for your players to come and take part in. So today we're going to do an example with a tournament. This is going to be, we've got the choice between constructed tournament, sealed tournament, or draft tournament. If you want more information about sealed and draft tournaments, you can check out some of the other information on the Sorcery TCG website and some of our articles. But today we're going to select a constructed tournament, which is where players bring their own decks and battle them against each other. The play setting is going to be in person. The tournament format here, we have the option between Swiss and single or double elimination. We want all our players to play in all the rounds. It's more of a casual event. So we're going to select Swiss. No one's getting eliminated. And then we're going to select best of 1. Try and keep things moving along at a snappy pace. So that means that each round will be decided by 1 game of sorcery. The other option is best of 3, where it will be best of 3 to decide who's the winner of the round.
Makes sense.
Then we've got decklist publishing enabled or disabled. We're going to select disabled because we're not requiring players to submit decklists for this event. Then we've got 3 different options for self-check-in. So this is on the day of the event as the tournament organizer. You're going to have a list of players who are registered. And then in the tournament software, which is all integrated into the Sorcery Play Network, you're going to need to check players in on the day so that the software knows for round 1 that those players are there, ready to play, and that they need to be paired up.
What do you suggest for someone who's doing their first event? What do you find the easiest for a store owner?
Yeah, so there's 3 options here. One is to allow players to check themselves in without any further authentication. So that introduces a little bit more risk that maybe someone will accidentally check themselves in when they're not there. The best option, I think, for newer store owners who are just running their first couple of sorcery events is to use the require code option, which means that in the tournament software, you'll get a code that you can give to your players that'll get generated at the time that you select for check-in to begin, which we've selected here for 1 hour before the start. You'll be able to give that code to your players, and on their mobile device, they can just use that code to check into the event themselves. It means that you don't have to worry too much about it, and you can leave it up to your players to do the check-in, but you're sure that it's only people who are there in the store are the ones who've got the code.
Makes sense.
So we'll select require code, and then we've got some additional information here about when we're going to begin the check-in process. So we're saying 1 hour before the event starts. We can choose our capacity. I think we'll go with 64 for the Common Sense Convention. So it's a pretty big event. And then we've got something pretty cool here, Chase, which is the opportunity to put all of the information about any of the prizes that we have. And you can see here there's heaps of different customization options. We can select participation prizes. So, for instance, we could say that everyone who comes along gets a certificate of Common Sense, which seems fair. That's nice.
I like it.
Then we can also have something special for the person who comes first. We might give them the crown of Common Sense, for example. So then there's a range of different other things that you can enter here. You can put prizes per win so that anyone who wins a round gets a particular prize, and you can have prizes that go to top 4, top 8, top 16, etc. And all of the information that you enter into this section of the event will appear on the public page for players when they come and have a look at the event page. They'll be able to see all the different prizes there listed quite clearly and prominently on the page. So it's a great way for you to get that information out to players there. Then we've also got the option here to enter some additional information about the event. So that's anything else that you want to let players know. If you require them to use sleeves on their decks, for example, or if you need the minimum deck size to be a particular size, all of those logistical pieces of information that are really important to players, you can put in there. Or if you're running a cosplay contest or a dress-up contest, or if you're going to be providing free pizza or free cupcakes, you can put any of that information in there and it'll be available to players. Then at the bottom here, we've got the option to select from all these different currencies for the event tickets, because one thing I think we mentioned earlier, Chase, is that tickets can actually be purchased by players through the Sorcery Play Network and get them automatically enrolled into this event, which will then seamlessly allow us to transition to running the event on the day. So we can choose the currency that we want those tickets to be purchased in. Here we're going to choose New Zealand dollars for this New Zealand event. So then if we had a Stripe account linked, we would be able to set an entry fee here as well. But for this one, we're just going to set it at $0 and we'll move on through. And then the final step to get your event live is just to review all the information that you've already entered, make sure everything's correct. So we'll scroll down through, everything looks good. And then we click Save and Publish. And once we click that button, the event will be live on the Sorcery Play Network.
So Jesse, we've made our event. Maybe we want to now find it, or maybe other people want to find our event. How do they do that?
That's right. So any player anywhere in the world who logs into the Sorcery Play Network is now going to be able to navigate across to the Events tab here. If they know the name of our event, because they're pretty excited to come to the Common Sense Convention, they can just type in Common Sense Convention here, and there it is. And they're just going to be able to click through and purchase the ticket and join up.
And that's fantastic. And one of the cool things is that you mentioned giving some prize support out, but just by having players participate in events that are run through the Sorcery Play Network, they're actually going to be earning dust. And now, if you don't know what dust is the reward currency for sorcery that awards players with promotional items. So there's 2 ways that you can actually acquire dust. The first is through acquisition of product, in which when you buy a booster box, on the very bottom, there is a QR code with a little scratch sticker. And if you scratch off the coding and you go to the QR code location, you can enter that authentication code to authenticate your product and earn some dust. You can also earn dust just by playing in games on the Sorcery Play Network. And Jesse, how does that work?
Well, this is really exciting, Chase, and it means that anybody who is running events through a store, so once you're registered doing that organizer application process that we outlined earlier in the video, you're actually going to be able to reward your players automatically just for playing in your events in store. And they're going to earn participation dust for being a part of the event, and they're also going to earn achievement dust depending on their placement at the end of the event for the top couple of places. So this is a great way to incentivize players to come along to your events by being able to reward them with this awesome currency that they can use to redeem promos and other materials, as well as giving the top players in your events and the top finishers some additional rewards for their performance. Now we're going to have a quick look at the rewards that you can redeem using your dust points, which is pretty cool. So here, this is the rewards that are available at Dust launch here in May 2024. Pretty amazing, Chase, to be honest, that at launch, people can get their hands on these awesome t-shirts through the Dust store here. There's the opportunity to pick up some incredible promo cards like this Waypoint Portal, these gorgeous foil Color Out of Space and foil Cloud City, the fan favorite Pudge Butcher, and a foil version of the Sorcerer in that alternate Alan Pollack artwork with the full art foil back, which is pretty cool. And Chase, I think perhaps some of your favorites, the promo Foot Soldiers in full size.
Which come in a pack of 3.
They do.
And these are things that you can be playing towards. Like you might already have some dust because you might be a collector who bought some boxes, but these are things that you can work through by going down to your local store, playing in their events, and earning dust on a weekly or monthly basis to unlock these cool things over time.
And it's just so awesome, I think, Chase, as a store that's putting on events. You know, I've run quite a few events through our store over the past few months, and knowing now that our players in our store are going to know that whenever they come in and play in an event, they're working towards the next dust reward that they're wanting to redeem. That's just such a cool feeling. And I know that when people see their dust balance tick over the number to purchase their next reward, that's going to be a really awesome thing for them to be able to do. So as a store owner, you can know that just by putting on events through the Sorcery Play Network, you're going to be automatically giving your players the opportunity to contribute to growing their dust balance and redeeming some awesome rewards.
And that's the basics of the Sorcery Play Network. So it allows you to host and run events. It allows you to get on the store locator just by registering through the application process. And then it allows you to acquire dust, or players to acquire dust, by participating in your events that you're running on your location. So we hope this information helped you get your footing as you enter the world of sorcery. In the meantime, best of luck contesting the realm.
Take care.